The New York Jets are now on the board.
Okay, Jet fans, Darrell Revis.
Being in New York has been one of the greatest blessings.
Zach's Fifth Avenue ran that one right now.
The New York Jets select.
Welcome to another episode of NFL Draft Preview. A week away from the NFL Draft, Dane. We're talking wide receivers. The Jets right now, they have picks 4 and pick 10. Pick 10, a popular pick for a wide receiver to come off the board for the green and white. But let's start with this. You have 5 first-round grades. Garrett Wilson at the top of there. His teammate Chris Olave, also a first-round grade. How do you separate them two, and what do they bring to the table on the field?
Really, it just comes down to what he does before and after the catch in terms of getting open, creating separation. He does that very well now, and you feel like he's going to get better and better as a route runner as he continues to develop. Not the biggest guy, 6 foot, 183, but the way he plays through contact, the body control, so he can make contested catches. He can make plays over defensive backs. When it all comes down to it, getting open before and after the catch, to me, that's the big difference between him and especially a guy like Chris Olave. Chris Olave is a very smooth player, a very seasoned route runner. Doesn't give you much after the catch, and you do worry about the physicality aspect of things, where Wilson's going to play through contact, where Olave, you just don't necessarily see that all the time. Now, Olave is a very good player, and there are strengths of his game that you think match up very well with what you're looking for in the first round. But I think why I prefer Wilson is just the ability after the catch and the physicality at the catch point.
All right, well, let's talk about Drake London. What is the one thing that Drake London, like, you hang your hat on that? You're like, you know what? That's why Drake London, if there was one thing, is going to be a good pro compared to some of these other guys.
When you look at Drake London, the ultimate respect that you can give to a wide receiver is when you know where the football is going. Everybody in the stadium, everybody that's watching the game, they know where the football is going, and the defense still can't do anything about it. Drake London averaged 15 targets per game last year, and I mean his production, if he did not get hurt, his final season production would have been just astronomical. So I think the fact that he can win at the catch point, he's a bully, his focus, the ball skills are outstanding. You trust him. He's a dependable player.
All right, with Jamison Williams, if you have 2 first-round picks, maybe you could afford to use one on a guy like Jamison Williams, not knowing exactly when he'll be ready to return to the field. For the Jets in particular, with the 10th overall pick, is that too rich for Jamison Williams, not knowing when he'd be ready to make an impact on the field for your second-year quarterback?
Just say every receiver is available there at 10. No receivers have been drafted yet. If you grade Jamison Williams as being a healthy Jamison Williams, as being the most impactful receiver in this draft for your team, and the doctors give you 2 thumbs up and say, hey, the knee is progressing well, they can give you a timeline, say probably somewhere mid-season, he's going to be able to get back out there and be close to 100%, you draft him.
All right, moving on to day 2, the Jets have picks 35 and 38. How do you evaluate somebody like George Pickens, who played at the end of this past season but missed the majority of his final season at Georgia, knowing the raw traits that he possesses and knowing that the draft is about traits as opposed to production for specific players?
Pickens, in a lot of ways, the Derek Stingley of the offense this year. He had that amazing 2019 season as a true freshman, led Georgia in receiving. You got really excited about what this guy is going to be. His second year was a little up and down, and then this past year, 5 catches, basically missed the entire year because of that ACL that he had at this time last year. So there is definitely some risk involved here, and that's why has a second-round grade from me and not a first-round grade. But this guy has all the makings of a number 1 wide receiver.
Who's a guy that you think could be drafted on day 3 this year? You like his traits, and you're saying, you know what, in a couple of years, maybe this guy does develop into a starting role or a significant role for his team.
Danny Gray from SMU being one of those guys. If there's a Darnell Mooney in this class, who the Bears drafted day 3 2 years ago, and turned out to be a starting level player for them. Danny Gray could be that type of guy this year. He has outstanding speed, 4.3 speed. You love when you watch his tape. He's making plays at every level of the field, so he could be a catch and run guy. He can win over the top, track the football. If you're looking for more of a quicker than fast slot option, Kyle Phillips out of UCLA, 5'11", 190, led UCLA in receive each of the last 3 years. Not a burner by any means, 4.58 in the 40, but his short area quickness is so twitched up with the way his routes are. The footwork is outstanding. If you're looking for that underneath target, Kyle Phillips could be that guy.
That is a great way to wrap up this episode of NFL Draft Preview. We are 1 week away from the NFL Draft. It's almost here, Dane. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Ethan.